So this is our Creative Careers Week information session for the 2nd to the 6th of October. So our agenda for today is to cover off what is Creative Careers Week. So we'll be taking through a summary of previous year's activity, so examples of practice that went across the country. We'll be looking at what is involved in Creative Careers Week, and then also what are those next steps for yourselves with employers, as regional groups, and as well on the social media front side. So for this first section, I'm going to pass the baton to Mar from Historic Environment Scotland to take us through the next slide. So Mar, over to you.
Hi, yes. So basically, we have been involved with Creative Careers Week in Scotland since 2021 when it was first run. And at that time, there was local employer-led activity and social media campaign. 20 heritage organizations participated in all of the streams of all of the strands of Creative Careers Week. We had 1,200 pupils participating in live stream sessions that included SDS and HES. And the social media campaign was also very positive, with 253 users engaging using the hashtag Discover Creative Careers. Last year, it was also a very successful campaign, both in the digital aspects, with 758 people attending our live sessions throughout the week, and also a lot of people engaging through social media with the use of hashtag Creative Careers Week 2022. And also in person with 1,602 young people attending in-person events at schools. So this year we're going to do the same model. We're going to have a local employer-led activity. We're going to have some social media activity and campaign, and also include an educator toolkit and an employer toolkit. All of these have case studies, career profiles that teachers can use in schools, and they can use to introduce different creative and cultural careers to their pupils and to their classes. And we'll also have 3 live sessions this year because they have been very successful in the past, as I mentioned, including a virtual panel discussion with creative and cultural employers. And you can see in the screen a couple of screenshots of the social media activity from previous years, all of the engagement. So I'm gonna pass on. Sorry, I can't remember who I was passing on. I believe Stacey.
Stacey, yeah.
Correct. So hi everyone, I'm Stacey Toner from Creative and Cultural Skills. I'm really sorry about the sunshine. I never thought I'd ever be apologising about the sun in the background here, but here we are. So I'm going to give a very quick overview of what we consider the creative and cultural sector to be. Even now we feel that it's a slightly misunderstood sector, and maybe more so people hold a perspective or assumptions around the visibility of what we might think about as creative. So I'm doing a bit of a cheat, and I'm taking a definition from Scottish Government just to make sure that I include every sector and subsector that they deem to be part of the creative industries. So Scottish Government term the creative industries those based on individual skill, talent and creativity, with the potential to create wealth and jobs through the development or production of intellectual property. Now, within that definition sits 16 distinct industries, and they include advertising, architecture, visual art, crafts, fashion and textiles, design, performing arts, music, photography, film and video, computer games, radio and TV, writing and publishing, heritage, software and electronic publishing, and cultural education. And I work in this industry and I still can't reel off the 16 in a oneer. So the website's really good if you want a breakdown. But just from that overview, you can see how wide and varied it is. And I think this is quite a representative partnership of creative coming together with heritage and DYW to really make that distinction that creative and cultural sector is wider than what you might think kind of firsthand. As an extension to that, something that we're really keen to look at in terms of the definition of creative and cultural sector is making visible the invisible jobs. So not necessarily defining the sector by being a creative. You know, there are IT-based jobs, fundraising and finance, advertising and marketing, all of these jobs that sit in and around the creative industries that we include within that bracket as well. So although you might think of it as an arts-based industry, there are connected skill bases around that make it work. We wouldn't be able to work without those. So that's a whistle-stop tour. I hope that the image makes sense and that it is very fluid and very responsive as an industry, and it's really based on networks and an ever-changing dynamic of what is out there. And I think we're probably one of the industries that speaks most to not knowing what the jobs will be in 5 years or 10 years' time. So that definition will continue to change, I believe. So on that note, I'm going to hand back to Mar to talk about Creative Careers Week 2023.
Thank you, Stacey. Yes, so in 2023, we have 3 main aims. So we want to raise awareness of creative and cultural careers and all of the big breadth of availability that is in there that Stacey was just referring to. We also want to inspire young people to consider a career in the creative and cultural industries that they may not have considered before, especially by highlighting all of those available roles at the big range of roles that are highlighting the benefits of taking on these careers and challenging the misconceptions that may already exist and maybe you know, in people's minds, especially maybe not so much the young people themselves, but the people around them, educators, parents, people, careers influencers. And lastly, we want to encourage and support employers across the creative and cultural industries to engage with young people through that social media campaign, through that in-person regional-led activities that we were talking about earlier that took place in previous years. So that is what we're aiming to do in Creative Careers Week 2023. And I'm going to pass on to Claire so she can tell you a little bit more about how we're going to do it.
Great, thanks Mar and Stacey for both of those. So what is happening this year? So very similar to last year, there are 4 strands of activity that will take place across that week of the 2nd, week commencing the 2nd of October. So first of all, we have our national employer-led activity, which will take place via DYW Live. And we've got local employer-led activity, which would be in what regional groups would be delivering. We've got our Creative Careers Week 2023 social media campaign. And then we also have this 4th strand of signposting to existing Creative Careers Week resources and activities. And that centres around those wider activities and resources as well, because there are plenty of resources out there. It's sometimes just about finding them and navigating them and being able to signpost on without necessarily recreating the wheel as well. So if we just take each of those in turn, if we look at the national employer-led activity, which is being delivered via DYW Live. So we've got 3 activities there, 3 sessions, and these will all take place between 10 and 10:30 on those dates. So on the 2nd of October, we've got Introduction to the Creative Industries. On Wednesday, the 4th of October, we have Early Careers in the Creative Industries, and that will be a panel made up of young people who will be talking about their experience of going into the creative industries as an early career. And then on Thursday, the 5th of October, we'll be focusing on digital careers within the creative and cultural industries as well. So moving on, I should say as well, with the DYW Live activity, these are now live on the DYW Live website, and they've also been submitted to Marketplace as well. So they will go live there very shortly and are ready to book. So local employer-led activity. So this is regional groups, bread and butter, and we see fantastic examples of this happening across lots of different industries across the year and in different sectors. Like last year, we've produced a regional group toolkit to help support you to engage with local creative and cultural organisations. So there's a template there for a letter, there's a template as well for a form, and also a form that can be sent out to employers, which they can submit to say what they would like to be involved in. And that's toolkit is essentially there to help support you with your Creative Careers Week activity. Ruth will talk shortly about the social media side of things, so I won't touch on that quite yet. I mentioned an online form there as well, and that's something that we have put on our the dyw.scot website on our Creative Careers Week landing page. And that's a form whereby employers can submit their interest or register their interest to take part in Creative Careers Week or wider DYW activity. And what would happen is they would fill out what it is they would like to do or what their offer is. They would then be able to say which local authorities or which regional groups they'd be looking to work with. And then what we will do is, as a national team, we will revisit that on a daily or every second day basis, and then be able to make those introductions to regional groups. And we will, of course, be encouraging people to put things onto Marketplace as well. So what I'm going to do now is just hand over to Ruth, who's going to talk us through the social media campaign side of things.
Okay, hello. Thank you for having me in this presentation. So I would like to just talk to you a little bit about the promotion for the campaign, first of all. So you may have seen in the Leeds emails, which go out every Friday afternoon, you may have seen that there has been a toolkit added to the resource portal for regional groups to support them in promoting the campaign. So we do have a schedule that you are free to follow, or you can use that just as a guide. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you download the toolkit from the resource portal, because it's got everything that you need to know about the campaign. It also has promotional graphics like the little compilation that you can see on this slide. That's just a small variety of the graphics that we've made for this campaign. So the toolkit will include that alongside videos, story templates, and of course the social media schedule, as I mentioned. Now on the next slide, we'll just discuss a little bit about the actual campaign week. So during the campaign week, we're going to post a series of content to showcase careers in the creative industries. We will base much of this content on the role profiles, which are also available to download in the Educator Toolkit and stuff as well. So that is what a lot of our content will be based on. We do encourage regional groups, school coordinators, and partner organisations to also showcase any creative individuals they have in their workforce or any creative businesses within their network. And you can either encourage people to get involved, or you can work collaboratively with these organisations and the individuals in them to create content together. This is quite important. See, getting content from organisations out with DYW is quite important because really it's going to show young people and show the next generation of creatives the breadth of roles that are available. So basically we will be posting things from the 2nd to the 6th of October with the hashtag Creative Careers 23. So if you are posting anything for the campaign, or if you are encouraging others to get involved by posting content for the campaign, please ensure that the hashtag is included. This is really important so that we can so that we can ensure that the campaign is seen by as many young people, parent, carers, and teachers as possible. So yeah, make sure that you include that hashtag. And just another quick summary as well. So last year there were 482 social media posts in total that used the 22 hashtag, which was Creative Careers Week 22. But yeah, 482 posts included that. Those posts reached a total of 704,603 people, which is quite a lot. Ideally, this is probably our target for this year. If we would like to reach that ideally. So to do that, we really need to focus on boosting engagement so that in return we can increase the reach and encourage other people to also get involved in the campaign and post their own content. So to boost engagement levels, we just ask that you support the campaign by liking, commenting on and sharing as many posts as possible. An easier way to do this is see if you search specifically for the hashtag Creative Careers Week 23 on Instagram and X or Twitter, as it was formerly known. Yeah, search for the hashtag Creative Careers Week 23, and just if you go through them and like them that way and interact, share, comment, etc. As I say, that will just boost engagement and it will encourage a higher reach and a higher performance overall. And it just, again, ensures that the campaign reaches as many people as possible. Thank you, that's my bit.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Ruth. So just on to next steps. So Ruth talked there about the toolkits that are available. So the employer pack and the regional groups toolkits are available on the resource portal, and the employer pack and the educator pack with those varied role profiles and the session plans for educators sit on the website. So they're ready to be downloaded as well. As it says, in terms of engaging with local employers, if the employers that you're engaging with over Creative Careers Week want to work with other regional groups or would like to make their offer wider than just working with yourselves, then please feel free either to pop them in our direction or connect them with other regional groups, but also they can post that opportunity on Marketplace as well. And it will get a shout out during Creative Careers Week, but it will also might even manage to feature in some of the Marketplace Mondays side of things as well. You can always signpost employers to the employer registration form, and if they don't feel comfortable using Marketplace, and we can help support them with that. And I've got the employer registration link on these slides, which we will circulate to those who have joined us for the presentation today, and we will also pop it on the resource portal as well for ease of access. So I'm going to stop sharing my slides just now.